What was it like in Ann Arbor? Paint the word picture for me. Pre-game, during game, after game. What do you got for me? What do you got?
Intense. It was at times when Zach Zinter goes down and it gets silent, and then there's a cheer starts to build up and he responds to the crowd. I thought there was if there couldn't have been more drama ratcheted into that moment. And then look, as nasty as rivalry is, credit to Ryan Day, he did run up the tunnel to go to pay his respect to him, to Zinter. And then the very next play, Blake Corum breaks like a 20-yard touchdown run.
And flashes 6'5", his number at the Fox camera.
And this is Zach Zinter and Blake Corum, both guys who decided, hey, we're coming back for one more. I mean, he's a running back, and he's coming off injury and decided, hey, I'm not done yet. It was, and then the post game was kind of what you'd expect. As crazy as it's going to sound, it did not, as memorable as it was, the year before in Columbus to me kind of blew my mind because I didn't see it coming and the way it fell apart. And it was almost like, we're the only people in this building who think this is going to happen, and it did. In this case, it kind of went the way a lot of us thought it was going to go, right? Michigan this year had a big edge at quarterback, and that bared out. Michigan rode its run game and just kept on leaning on them. Eventually, it was good enough. Their defense made enough plays. And it kind of, I don't think there was anything shocking about it like this. The theater of it, no Jim Harbaugh. It was just it felt like big-time college football all the way through. The atmosphere was intense throughout. There was like never a lull in it. Even when it got quiet, like I said, in the Zach Zinter gruesome injury, it ratcheted the intensity even more into the building.
And it was great that you mentioned how Ryan Day does go and comforts Zinter, and then Sharon Moore and the Michigan staff went out to, I believe it was Tui Moloau, who was involved in the sequence where Zinter's tib-fib occurred, and they went and consoled him, or at least went up and and tapped him on the helmet and all that. And then obviously everybody goes back to their corners and comes out fighting again. What happens now? I feel like we're through the Connor Stallions. What did it all mean during the games phase? At least I'd like to think that's now put to bed. Now we're in the are we in the penalty phase? Because
for
Jim already got
Harbaugh stuff.
Because Jim got 3 games, and it's not just any 3 games. What is happening with this? Are we going to hear anything before the Big Ten or
I don't
final?
think
So we're still in the investigatory phase.
Yeah, and
now.
I think at this point that's a postseason deal now.
Okay,
that is when I say postseason, I'm post. That's a 2024 deal to me, because at this point, if anything comes to light, no matter what it is, at this point, again, Michigan served a significant punishment. Their head coach was away from them. He wasn't away from them for the whole week.
Yes,
but he was away from them on Saturdays, and that does matter. Now, is it as big a deal if he was away permanently? No, but I think at this point the NCAA is going to go through its process, and we'll circle back on that when it happens.
Well, the crucial part about that, just to jump in here, is that obviously it depends on how many more games Michigan wins this year, how Harbaugh's standing might be with the regents at Michigan, or what happens. But, the NFL coaching hiring season is going to start the first Sunday before the national championship game.
And he is the one guy in the college coaching space who has a big-time NFL coaching pedigree.
Yes.
If Nick Saban at this stage of his career somehow desperately wanted to be a head NFL head coach, but like Jim Harbaugh took his team that wasn't very good before he got there to a Super Bowl. 44-19 is a really impressive resume. There will be jobs. My gut, and this is something that some people inside Michigan kind of also buy, there's going to be a rebuild in Ann Arbor. Yeah, there's a transfer portal. Yeah, there's still some really good young players who can't leave early. But the bulk of those starters are going on to the NFL. The NCAA is not going to be done with Michigan now. They are not. There will be more punishment. And if Jim Harbaugh is still there, It's not like, oh, yeah, he served 3 games for the Big Ten, but we're still not happy with how the sanctions are going to be laid out for the COVID recruiting issues. So I think I'd still be surprised if Jim Harbaugh is the head coach at Michigan a year from now.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.